Hello, Year 10, and welcome to what feels like our first language lesson in quite a long time. It was actually the beginning of last week, what we did try weeklies and so on. So today you're going to need a pen and your exercise book, and the title is Part B, Paper 1, Writing a Speech. So get that into your books, get yourselves organised, then on to the next slide. But before we begin with that task, can you remember every aspect of Daft Forest? Remember, it's an acronym that shows you all the different aspects of creative writing, like D is direct address, for example. Can you remember all of those? Well, I hope you can remember some of them because you're going to need them today. Direct address, anecdote and/or alliteration, facts, opinion, rhetorical questions, exaggeration, statistics, and triplets. So I would write them down. You're going to be writing a speech, so make a little list of those and be ready to use them. Right, last week we covered the first half of paper 1, questions 1 to 4, which carries 40 marks, and this writing part carries the other 40 marks, making a total of 80. We'll come back to part 1 in due course. Today we're going to look at the second half of the paper, which carries 40 marks, as I said, which is half the value of the paper. So it's important that we know how to manage ourselves when it comes to this part of the paper. We're going to be planning it, and you will be writing the first 2 paragraphs of your response. Now, if you remember, in the first part of the paper we looked at the beginning of last week, both the extracts were to do with work and working conditions. One was the factory girl in Crewe, wasn't it, who'd written a letter to a newspaper saying how terrible her conditions were. And the other one was a much more modern piece by a young man who worked in a fast food restaurant, and he really liked it. So what happens is you will get the 2 extracts that you get in the paper will be reflected in the writing task. They'll give you something that's sort of connected to it. So what I've done here is write a speech that is to be delivered to your school on the advantages of having a part-time job while at college. And these are the sorts of bullet points the OCR, who are the exam board, have come up with. Show confidence and a sense of humour. Write like you mean it. This is a speech. You can't be timid. You're going to be. It's meant to be read out to a room full of your peers, your student friends. So you wouldn't be up there being all sort of pathetic, would you? You'd be up there with confidence and humour. Use advanced and accurate punctuation and vocabulary, the best vocabulary you can think of. Use structure for effect. This is highly rewarded. Now, in a speech, that could be something like just a single line paragraph. If you were talking about a fast food restaurant, and I was working in a fast food restaurant, I thought it was going to be hellish, but who knew? I enjoyed it. I mean, that is structure for effect. And ensure that you're writing for the correct form, e.g. a speech is to an audience and is persuasive. It's obviously markedly different to a letter, which is way more personal. So remember all the time that you're writing a speech. Now, everybody's going to be making a plan and everybody's going to be uploading it. I need to see your plans. It is proven through research that if you make these plans and you get good at it, it bumps your marks up by a grade at least. I know it feels sometimes a bit superfluous at this stage, but once you get used to making a plan and get better at it, your writing will improve dramatically. So I'll put in the middle there, write a speech that is to be delivered to your school on the advantages of having a part-time job while at college. The first aspect of my plan, I'll be going around clockwise, will be address the audience and introduce yourself. Hello, I used to work in McDonald's when I was young, but that was a long time ago and things are different now. Anyway, my name's Nick Houghton, and I'd like to talk to you today about the advantages of having a part-time job while at college. A nice confident introduction. So I want you to finish that plan, which you're going to upload to Class Charts, and then go on to the next slide. So write the first 2 paragraphs of your speech. Upload the plan and the paragraphs to Class Charts. So well done, year 10. I'll seek to you next time. It should say I'll speak to you next time. So well done. I look forward to reading those. Yeah, see, I'll speak to you again.